Ruler School is brought to you by Happy Little Hug Factory and these amazing patrons. Extra special thank you to guest lecturer patrons Brody Harris, Lance Albertson, and Monica. Thank you for your support. Enjoy the video. Hey there everybody, DMO73 here, bringing you the deck profile for the Alhama'at combo deck that was designed by Josh and piloted earlier this week. So this is a different take on the whole Umir combo thing and has a lot of utility outside of Umir, and then rather than just kind of playing your whole deck when you resolve Umir, the whole idea is it kind of creates this really threatening board state that kind of locks down your opponent and keeps your whole board state protected, so that pretty much the only option is to pay a ton of life for a final battle, at which point you also really open your opponent up for having to deal with things like World Flame summoning, so it kind of punishes the answer to the threat. Very interesting. You really are never going to flip this deck. You're just using it on the front side, so you can have those ancient magics and use the ability to dig really deeply with things like Ancient Knowledge and cast the World Flame summonings cheaply with your Welsers. To kind of clone them and deal a lot of damage. So moving into the stones real quick, it's 4 Scorched Bales, 4 Ancient Magic Stones, and 2 Heaven's Rift. Ancient Magic Stone is great because it can be used to produce any color as needed, which is really awesome. And then the other primary colors are blue, black, white, and red. Sorry. So yeah, and we want the resonances for Darkness stones so that Gil Alhama'at gains those counters. Going into the main deck, 4 Demon Orderly, because it's treated as a magic card stone, so it does resonance for both, and it's a demon, so it does resonance for both Rachel and Alhama'at. Abdul, to be able to protect the deck effectively from things like Lorite, which is awesome. Orphica, because it's the main kind of recycler of Umir for the combo, as well as you saw in the video, you can bounce your opponent's kind of last creature to make sure you get the damage in. So 4/4/3 so far. 2 Rachel, Nephilim Commander, primarily bringing this out. It's an angel, ancient, angel, and demon. So this is really interesting that it counts as 3 different races for the Kingdom of Diversity, which I think is really interesting. 7/7 flyer, and then you get to kill stuff and gain more counters than whenever you resonance for Darkest Magic Stone, which is great. Again, one of the things that wasn't noticed is if you grab this and a Demon Orderly off of a Umir, Rachel's going to see the Demon Orderly come into play and get her trigger. This was something that wasn't done in the feature match, but it is the way it works, similar to having Puppet Maker, and a Last Audience off of a Seed of Rebirth. Then we play some Umir, because he's the heavy-hitting beast of the whole combo. The whole point is to try to cheat this guy out, and then when you bring Orphica to flicker it off of the first one, it doesn't have to die at the end of the turn from the Heroic Epic. And then 2 Welser, the Archmage of Fire, really nice to be able to kind of God's Art, quick cast this guy in, and then you can cast like double Ancient Knowledge, double World Flame Summoning, double Heroic Epic, do lots of stuff. So I think I need to take a little bit of time to explain kind of what happens with canceling. So when you cast a spell, Welser's ability triggers and goes on the stack. If your response to Welser's effect to create the copy is to cancel the original spell, then that spell is no longer on the chase, so therefore Welser's ability has nothing to copy. However, keep in mind that if you let Welser's ability resolve, thus putting that spell on the chase, to then resolve, you have to cancel both spells. So it's kind of the weirdness of the timing. So if you're going to respond to try to cancel something to prevent Welser from doing anything, you can't let Welser's ability actually resolve. You have to kind of kill whatever they're trying to play beforehand, before Welser's ability resolves. Otherwise, they still get both spells. Or at least one of them, even if you cancel the original. A Shackles of Ice, because it's in the main and it shuts down Sherry. One thing to note, and I'm not sure if it necessarily impacted the game state, is this does prevent Gil Alhama'at from being able to produce with his mana. So just kind of be careful about that. It is a will production ability, but it also is technically an activate ability that uses the chase. Or it doesn't use the chase, but it's an activate ability. So just kind of keep that in mind. 3 Thought Control to be able to pick at your opponent's hand and make sure your combo is going to resolve. Kingdom of Diversity Light Palace. This is the thing that makes all of your stuff that comes in after the Umir really big, because you get a lot of different races among all the different creatures you control. You're never going to flip Gil Alhama'at really, though I suppose you could to give everybody flying and just finish the game off. A Neo Barrier, because if you get to enough stones, you can just lock out your opponent pretty well. An Ancient Barrier to make spells much harder to cast and cancels and things, as well as making it very easy to protect your stuff. And all your spells are pretty much Ancient Magics. A Heroic Epic isn't, but you can always grab this off of the Umir, which kind of protects you. A Zero Circle Set Protection for some additional, obviously, protection against specific colors. 4 Heroic Epic to be able to cheat in either the Umir. 4 Ancient Knowledge for some dig, and then 4 World Flame Summoning for burning, and being able to duplicate this is really nice. You can pretty easily cast this pretty cheaply early on with the Welser, so you can quick cast in Welser with this Goddard, cast this. If it resolves, then you can like burn your entire opponent's board for 16, burn your opponent for 16 and make them sack 2 stones. Like, there's a lot of stuff that you can do if you have double World Flame Summoning resolving all at the same time. But yeah, that is the list. Let me know what you guys think about it, if you would make any changes to the list. Huge thanks to Josh, as always, for designing and piloting lists for the channel. And until next time, this is DMO73 signing off.